Hi, welcome back to the In Charge Show. I'm Tara, along with Al and Mike. We're here again to talk to you about everything to do with business.
And entrepreneurship.
And entrepreneurship. Can't forget that.
Yeah, that's what the show's all about.
Yeah. Entrepreneurial business-ship.
Yeah, yes.
Business. I like this business-ship.
So today we're going to start off with Al talking about N News, and then Mike is going to do some N Finance, followed up by myself with the Entrepreneur of the Week commentary. So Al is going to kick it off for us today.
Yeah, this week for N News, there was actually a 17-year-old who actually now owns 2 startups. He started 2 businesses at 17, all over a breakup with a girlfriend he had in high school. Okay, so the businesses, one of them is called They Don't Teach You This in School, which is pretty much a website containing 1-minute videos asking leaders and thinkers the question, what's one thing they didn't teach you in school? And the Prime Minister of New Zealand actually participated in this. Dennis Crowley of Foursquare participated in this. So he's been doing a lot of that. The first business he started that actually started because of the breakup was called Duo, which allowed people to comment on past relationships. His basic thing is he's from New Zealand. His grandparents were, they have letters from their old girlfriends and boyfriends, and they keep all this information. And we're in a digital era now that once you delete something, it's gone, or per se, like a text or this. So he created a system where people can save texts and save information from previous relationships. So it's like they have their own memories saved up, and he said his ex-girlfriend was okay with it, and it's a really cool concept and idea. And then that led to his second business, and it's just, I mean, it's really cool to see a 17-year-old kind of just take an idea and run with it, and how he's involved the Prime Minister of New Zealand and someone from Foursquare, and it's just been, I think he's doing something good.
Yeah, I was really interested in the fact that he was so young when he started his companies, and he was going to different sort of school boot camps, and he was surrounded by older people. But the thing that I thought was really cool was that the youth right now are sort of looking back on letter writing and note writing in like this really
what's a newspaper?
Yeah, in like this really nostalgic way where it's like, it's sort of novel to write a letter or get a love letter, or it's just, I was like, really? Are we really there? No, we're not there.
It's like way back in the day, in ancient times when we used to have pen and paper. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, we grew up, I think, in an era where we had both. We grew up with non-computer. I mean, I don't think I had a computer until when I was maybe in 7th, 8th grade. So, I mean, it's been...
I remember in grammar school, we had like a computer class, and it was like with the big floppy disks that you'd like put in the
and then you had the teacher whack your hands because you had to learn how to type without looking at the keyboard.
Yeah, it was totally old school.
I have 2 things I want to say about this to add to what you guys have, though. Writing a letter could be a very effective way to get someone's attention. I know the first time I was trying to get mentors for my company, I wrote someone that most people would have probably thought was out of my league, but I wrote this person a handwritten letter, and I did a handwritten envelope. And this guy who's worth like 500-something million was the first person to mentor me, and it's all because of that letter I sent him. So it could also be one of those things where it's so nostalgic that when someone gets one in the mail, it's like, oh, wait a minute, let me open this. And now, you're at the top of the list versus an email or even any other way of communicating, or a tweet. Because imagine if you tweet someone like Shaq. Shaq must be getting like or Kim Kardashian. She's got to be getting like 1 million and something tweets a day.
Kim Kardashian.
So imagine, but if you was to write that person a handwritten letter, is more something that'd be apt to open and check it out.
Definitely.
But what else I like about this, because he was talking about Peter Thiel and paying kids to drop out of school. I thought that was kind of cool, because what he said was if we his name is Michael, if we do not have these different routes for some people, they waste their creativity or waste their time as their most creative. I think every person on the planet will be the most creative at different points in their lives. Some people are most creative when they're 12 or 13, and so many people waste their creativity because A, they don't know how to, get it out or how to take the ideas to the next level, right? And then some people waste their creativity because, for other reasons. But I think this should also be, it should be alternative routes for creative kids to get their dreams out, to get started, and whatever that may mean, whatever that may be,
Yeah.
I definitely liked that part of the article where, they were sort of talking about paying kids to drop out of high school. While I don't think that people should drop out of school, I think that, you should get as much education as you can, and I think education is great. But school's not for everybody. So I kind of liked the whole thought, my brain sort of went to, how cool would it be for companies to like have a option, like on the career day or whatever, to have like your big companies there and say, listen, like if you guys aren't happy with school, like we'll pay you $2,000 to come work for us. Like you have to sign like a 2-year contract and like, here's the deal, I just thought it was kind of cool.
It is, but I'm on the fence with that. I mean, I think education should be continuous. It shouldn't stop after high school or after college. It's got to be ongoing. It doesn't have to be in the format of a school, but I mean, I think getting your basic, diploma or degrees are necessary. But education itself doesn't stop after school or college. So I mean, I understand what they're saying, like, you don't have to sit in school and, sit at a desk and you're uninterested and you can come and work. But at the same time, they need those degrees because what's going to happen if the company folds and they're SOL? So it's like they need to
They can always go back to school though.
Well,
yeah.
I think I agree with both of you. I think it should be a way where, for special kids to be able to use their talents and get those high school diplomas.
Like what celebrity kids do. They work and they have a teacher with them on set. So it could be something where if the company really wants to hire a high school student, well, then bring on a teacher to have them on in the workplace, to have them go do like homeschooling for 2 hours a day or something, to at least have them get their degree. I think it's a good idea, but they need to get the degree because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. And who wants to be 40 years old going back into high school or get it? If you're already there and you have 1 or 2 years left, just finish it.
Legally bond.
You went. Well, I mean, like if you went like 12 years to school, what's an extra 1 or 2 more years? Just finish it out.
You're right.
So, I mean, and there's internships possibilities in high school. So it's not like you're losing your creative edge. I just think I personally would not hire anyone to drop out of school and just have them come work for me. My opinion.
Unless they're Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like there's so many people that are successful these days that didn't finish school, that didn't go to college. Like, so I don't even think.
Well, they had high school degrees, most of them, at least. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about college degrees. I don't think everyone needs to go to college. There's things that, some people aren't meant for school, like you said. But at least a minimum, get a diploma. And that's, I think, at least that's what you should get.
Good to know.
Okay. And now you know.
And just one last comment on this article. Did you notice that like the Prime Minister lives at the end of a street? I was like,
Well, that's probably why he could drop out of school.
I was like,
his parents have money.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, he's not poor. I was like, he's like, I just went down the street, knocked on the Prime Minister's door. I was like, just screw you.
I wonder who started who funded his businesses.
Yeah, exactly. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of funding, we can just jump into the next segment.
Sounds good.
Well, I wanted to just talk about ways to get funding, and I think the internet is so powerful because now we have different websites, like different crowdsourcing websites, which everyone dips in and they give you your money to start your business or whatever it may be. And they have websites out there like Kickstarter.com and Indiegogo.com. But I found this really cool article on TrendCentral.com, and it's called "It All Adds Up." And you definitely want to check it out because it gives so many different types of crowdsourcing stuff that I didn't even know. Like they have crowdsourcing for if you want to have an ad campaign or different other type projects, and it gives a whole list of them. So we'll put that on the Facebook page so you can see all of those different sites. But even I love Kickstarter because, for example, with one of the products I saw on there, you could pre-order the watch while donating to the campaign. So this guy ended up making almost $1 million. So he got sales and he got funding, and I think that'll allow creative people to get their ideas out, because they don't have to go to sit in front of angel investors or venture capitalists and they go, oh, your idea is horrible, it'll never work. You can just go directly to the people that you're trying to sell it to, and now you have orders and you have cash flow. So I think, you know, Indiegogo and Kickstarter is just the best way to go, especially, so now you don't have an excuse that I don't have money to start my business. Now you have a way to get money to start your business.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys used it yet, Kickstarter?
I
Have
haven't.
you donated? No?
Yeah, actually, for one of my projects, I'm starting a after-school program out in Cambridge, Mass, with the guy that started Vermont Teddy Bear, and we just launched our Indiegogo campaign to get funding for the school, and we did that A, to get funding, but B, also to let people know what we're doing, and we're starting to have that role. So
nice.
it's just a smart way to go about it.
Yeah.
You know, because you have, I think it's because it's funding, and you have to test your market. You get to do everything in one swoop.
It causes good exposure, even if you don't get the funding exactly what you want. It causes exposure. People are getting to know you, because it doesn't mean if you're not going to get funding now, it doesn't mean you're not going to get it in the future. And it's, you know, there's connections to be made that can help you, either a business plan or formatting things correctly, or, you know, people joining your team and then evolving it to where you can then go and take it for funding, capital or venture or anyway. So I think, I mean, both sites, they're good and I like them. I mean, I personally have never used them, but it's a good way to not just look for funding, but just to generate exposure for your business or your startup.
Well, and I got sucked in maybe last month. There was this this local cafe that used to exist in Northampton. It was called Fire and Water, and this gentleman, Star, and his wife opened it and ran it, and they ended up having a baby, and the baby ended up dying. So it was like this sad, like, Northampton story. But he did this film called Salmon Boy, and it's a story of fire and water and like their lives and stuff. So this thing came through on, on my email from Kickstarter, and I was like, what is this? And then instantly, I'm like, oh, right, I remember Star Trish, I remember Fire and Water, I used to go, so you're like tied in already. And then you see all these things, if you pledge $25, you get, a t-shirt.
Yeah.
If you pledge, and it goes down all the way, and it like keeps getting better and better, and you're like, what do I want? So they ended up sucking me in for like a copy of the movie, and but you could like pay $5,000 and get like executive producer rights and credits on the video. I mean, it was like,
maybe I should throw Businews on. I'm gonna have to really look into this.
Yeah, you should look into it. It's pretty interesting. And then just this week, one of Northampton's best local like indie rock groups, the Winter Pills, just put out this thing. They want to make LPs, like records. So they needed $7,000 to do that, and so they put it up. And one of the things was like a copy of like our full catalog of CDs on a songbook and T-shirts, and and it goes down to like a live concert for you and your friends at
really
your
cool.
house.
Yep.
Like, and I was like, oh, I want, I was like, I want that, but I was like, 4,000, maybe not.
Yeah. I'd buy the CD and play it real loud in my house with my friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Do it for like the $25 version.
Close your eyes and it'll be here singing live.
Oh, so yeah, Kickstarter, check it out. It's awesome. We love it. Fun times.
Good times.
Okay, so finally, to wrap up this episode, I'm going to talk about two someones that I found for the Entrepreneur of the Week. And the website was the20wines.com. And what I really liked about these guys was that they sort of took a passion of theirs, which was wine. I
like wine.
Yeah, love wine. How can you not like wine? California wine specifically. And sort of saw what was out there in the market for like ordering of wine, sort of like, what is that, wine membership, wine club, where they would send you bottles of wine, wine of the month club, right, where they would send you, these wines and have all this packaging and have all these bottles, and it would be just like a huge waste. So they sort of looked at this model and said, how can we do it better? How can we make it more eco-friendly? How can we cut down on packaging and waste? And one of the things that I try and do as a business owner is like try and use like found objects in a different way and like repurpose and reclaim items and stuff. So what I really liked about them was that they did, 3-liter eco-friendly bags in one container. So it's like a whole, month worth, they were saying, 3 bottles of wine into like one packaging, and then they put it into like a recycled oak cask or recycled like ammo case from X Wars, which I thought was really cool.
What's the name of the company?
It's 20 Wines.
20 Wines.
20 Wines. So it's the 20wines.com to kind of check out more about them. But I was really thinking, I've never really done a wine club, but I kind of was interested in.
Yeah, I want to do those wine tour things, the vineyard, that kind of thing. I've never done that. So I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's not really recreating the wheel. It's more of like how you can make it better and make it more efficient for the industry. Yep. And that's when those key niche businesses make most profit and make the names for themselves. So when they don't do anything, they just have, they do what they think is going to make it more efficient as an industry, and they do it, and then it just blows up. And that's what happened with them, is just they came up with the idea of like, let's just save money and let's do this right, and it kind of just went from there. And I think, great.
Yeah, it's not really recreating the wheel, like you said. It's almost like repackaging the wheels, like putting
chromes on them,
putting some nicer rims on it. You have to put some spinners on it. That's just what it is. And I mean, even with Stinky, that's what we did. Like, we weren't the first person to sell someone diapers, but we were one of the first ones to make it just look super fly, like just the crazy stuff, the way we make them look, and that's what makes us special. Like, it's not really about the diapers per se. That's the icing on the cake. Like, drinking the wine is the ultimate outcome of it. But when you get you said like or ammunition box, that's crazy. You got a story. You got something to talk about with your friends. Like, check this out. And when you're able to do that and pass your creativity and excitement on to your customers, is always going to go big. And that's
it's also a uniqueness because they're not all the same.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So everyone, it's like their own casing every time. And it just adds that special touch the customers want. And, who doesn't want to feel special?
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
I want to feel special.
Touch.
Okay, we'll worry about that off camera.
Yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, I just kind of wanted to talk about them because I thought that, their idea was not something new, but something a little bit smarter than what everyone else was doing. And, they even have a cool slogan on the outside of the ammo case that says, "Make wine, not war."
Johnny Cupcakes.
So
I want
it's
to learn
nice,
how to make
right?
wine.
So it's nice to sort of like, repurpose and reclaim and reuse instead of constantly making all this waste that it just gets thrown away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Yeah. Cheers. We should have had wine at the end of this one. Yeah. No.
Next time.
Just seltzer. It's too early.
Was it like Holt and Kathy Lee? They drink wine in the morning. It's too early for wine.
You got a problem when.
Yeah. It's like not even 10 yet.
But we are on Facebook and on Twitter, In Charge Show, so follow us, join us. We'll be posting the articles that we've talked about through the show and all the episodes. And, go to businesschannel.com, subscribe to our newsletter, so you'll be up to date whenever the new episodes come up. I don't know, sir.
If you're looking for a good book to read, grab this book by Barbara Corcoran. She's one of the sharks from Shark Tank.
Good show to watch, too.
Great show. She just talks about how she turned $1,000 into a multi-billion-dollar business, which is good. I got this book from Tiffany Crummins, the lady who's one of the people she funded from Avery the Elephant. But it's a great book. Get it. You'll love it. She wrote it in such a nice, cool way that you didn't even realize you're reading it. It's like a story because she tells like how business lessons come from stuff she learned from her mom and her dad and how she applied it. Yeah. It's a great book.
And those are good books for entrepreneurs, not the ones that are like how-tos or tips. The ones where you can gain the experiences from other people and like, oh, maybe, my family did this or they did that. It's more like a conversation, not this is what you have to do.
And it's a national bestseller, so just go grab it.
And ladies, it's a good read too because it sort of encompasses like an ex-boyfriend getting together with her office assistant,
yes,
or her
it's
boyfriend
juicy.
getting together with her office assistant.
So it's an entrepreneur soap opera.
Yes, yeah. So there's like other stuff except for just the business in there. There's like a whole like get back, get even, and get successful, and
you're right.
make that guy jealous that he ever left you.
Well, thanks for watching.
I'm not bitter or anything. Ex-boyfriends, you're safe out there.
All
All right. Thanks for joining us.
See you guys next time.
Bye.